At exactly 12:40 p.m., the ground began to shake. People heard a sound like the roar of collapsing steel, and then the impossible. A 25-foot-high black wave tore through Boston. Not water, not fire, molasses. This is the true story of the strangest disaster in American history, and the deadly secrets that caused it. And more than a century later, scientists finally uncovered the truth. In 1919, Boston's North End was already a crowded, chaotic place, but towering over it all was a giant steel tank. 50 feet high, 90 feet across, filled with over 2 million gallons of molasses. Locals complained for years. It groaned. It leaked. Kids even collected molasses in cups underneath it. And the company that owned it, US Industrial Alcohol, knew all of this. But the world was just coming out of World War I. Industrial alcohol was rushing to supply the booming demand for industrial alcohol. And fixing a leaky tank would cost money. A disaster was brewing, literally, and the entire neighborhood was in danger. On January 15, 1919, something changed inside that tank. The temperature suddenly jumped. The molasses inside began to ferment, fast. Pressure built, steel groaned, bolts popped like gunshots. And then, at 12:40 p.m., the tank exploded. A tsunami of molasses, 25 feet tall, burst out at 35 miles per hour. It smashed buildings. It ripped apart the elevated train line. It hurled people through the air. Horses drowned where they stood. Molasses doesn't flow like water. It traps you. It pulls you under. And once it hardens, it becomes cement. Firefighters battled the sticky flood for hours. Rescuers sank chest-deep trying to reach victims. And in the darkness of that sludge, people screamed for help. When it was finally over, 21 people were dead. 150 were injured. The smell stayed in the city for decades, and the cleanup took 6 months. But the most shocking discovery came years later. The tank wasn't built correctly. The steel was too thin. It wasn't even tested. In fact, the man who approved it couldn't read blueprints. This wasn't an accident. It was negligence. And the lawsuit that followed became one of the largest in US history. And here's the part almost nobody knows. The disaster changed US construction law forever, creating safety testing standards still used today. It's the reason tanks, bridges, and buildings across America don't collapse today. A century ago, a wave of molasses destroyed a city, but its legacy protects millions of people today. If you want more forgotten stories that shaped the world, you're in the right place. This is ClearCut Stories. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.